Hello everyone, welcome to Event 8 of the Trio Marble Championship. It's the Treadmill Endurance. This event will have 6 heats of 8 with each team participating in 3 heats and sending in each team member once. The goal of the marbles is to stay on the treadmill as long as possible. The order you fall off determines how many points you get. So the first marble off will get 1 point, the second marble off will get 2, all the way up to 8. Your combined point total will be what gets you the victory. We can see the standings now. The Hummingbirds in second place, 9 points behind the Lightning, Wolf Warriors, Magmatics, Electrolytes, Camos, and Team Antimatter are in the title race. The Plasma Stripes, our hosts, are currently in last. You can see an example run here. All the marbles fall all the way back and then bound all the way to the front. The goal of the first section is just kind of to jostle around, decide who you want to be beside when it comes to the later portion of the race. You don't want to go too far back because then you'll just lose all your momentum and fall off like that one marble there. You can see they jostle around, and then as the speed goes up, it gets harder and harder for them to hold on. You'll see them stretch out all the way to the end. Right here, it gets too fast for these test marbles. That one's going to hang on pretty decently, and another one hanging on in the back. Potentially it comes off before the other one. No, it'll come off in the order you might have assumed. For this event, really the important part is actually the last section. You want to get good position in the first part, but then you have to hold on as well as you can and potentially surpass the marbles in the back. The Surfers, Infinity, Polar Panthers, Camos, Team Antimatter, the Hummingbirds, Ferocious Flames, and your leaders Lilac Lightning are in this heat. It is a stacked one. We see immediately the Ferocious Flames and the Hummingbirds separate themselves by going in the top in that little section up there. Everybody else trying to just get a better position on the bottom now. Polar Panthers moving around. You got to be careful because if you go too far back to pass somebody, you may find yourself out of contention. I think they have settled now. See a few marbles peeking out and then kind of shoving themselves back in where they decide they would like to be situated when the speed goes up. Every time you hear a ding, it is speeding up. We see now a few marbles falling back. Those top 2 up there look to be settled now. The Hummingbirds and the Ferocious Flames. The Surfers falling all the way back, stretching all the way. They're not going to be able to pick it up. Neither are the Polar Panthers. 6 remain. On the bottom, the Lilac Lightning trying to hold on. They will only pick up 3 points. And now everybody falls back. Ferocious Flames only going to get third, but the Hummingbirds will get first. Maybe that top starting point is advantageous. We're going to see a replay of the start and the end now. It is very important where you decide to land early. You can see those 2 teams didn't really have... I don't know if they planned to fall all the way to the right side of your screen there, but it ended up working out for them. Polar Panthers just couldn't get far enough. Lilac Lightning could not hold on here, missing out on the top 5 of their heat. But there is 3 chances for every heat. Or I guess 3 chances for every team in one of those heats. There's 6 heats in total. So it's not the end of the world if you have one bad performance, but consistency obviously is key. The Hummingbirds pick up 8 points now. If they can continue like this, they will have pretty easy time closing that gap to first place, I would assume. Now it's the Victor Trees, Laser Lights, Scientists, Plasma Stripes, Electrolytes, Magmatics, Wolf Warriors, and the Red Rogues. The Plasma Stripes trying to emulate the Hummingbirds, perhaps getting in the top section with the Scientists. Everybody else is on the bottom. Wonder if we'll see some jostling. We're seeing a little bit less than we did last time. Maybe people are content with their spots, or maybe they just don't want to risk it, seeing what happened to the Polar Panthers, who were the main one to move around, and they got 7th out of 8. The Electrolytes going a little bit back and forth now, deciding where they want to go, but you can't get stuck too far back, or else you could end up with a worse performance overall. Those top 2, once again, we see 2 teams stay in the top corner, and relatively to the other marbles, they seem to be doing pretty good. They're not jostling too much, and if they are, it doesn't really matter because there's so much space at the top compared to the bottom here. The Electrolytes have fallen back, all the way back. They got pushed by the Red Rogues, who are now following them, who would probably get 7th place. The Electrolytes drop off in 8th. Victor Tree's trying to hang on. Laser Light's trying to hang on. Laser Light's doing a significantly better job. They will pass a few teams to get into the top 3. Plasma Stripes barely get 2nd place, and the Wolf Warriors are going to pick up the win here. This is huge for some of these top teams because Lilac Lightning did not perform well, and we're seeing these other top teams actually perform well. Every time the Lilac Lightning seem to do bad, like in Event 5, everybody else at the top does bad too, and the gap does not shrink. Look at the Laser Lights holding on to pass the Scientists here. It was a valiant effort and may get them out of those bottom few spaces because they have been there throughout the entire tournament. We're running out of teams that don't have a medal yet. It's the Plasma Stripes, the Red Rogues, notably don't have a medal. I believe the Ferocious Flames might not have a medal. Maybe they got one and I just forgot. The Laser Lights do not have a medal. It's very close, but you can see the Plasma Stripes will get 7 points. Wolf Warriors will get 8 here. 4 more heats. 2 more chances for every team now that every team has went once. So it's not the end of the world if you're not at the top now, but it would be very helpful. The Hummingbirds and Wolf Warriors winning their heats to infinity, the Plasma Stripes getting 2nd, the Electrolytes and the Surfers need to get more points here. The Polar Panthers have just fallen off right at the start. Red Rogues, Surfers, Electrolytes in this heat, along with some other teams. The Hummingbirds, notably, who won their first group. Winfinity is in this heat. And the Polar Panthers just falling off right at the start. What went wrong for them? I assume you might think the strategy is to swing back as far as you can, because then when you're coming up to the front, you have more mobility or more chance to move to the side and decide where you want to go. The Polar Panthers must have just swung too far back and could not recover. Now we see one marble sitting alone at the top. We've seen two so far in each of the other heats, and everybody else has just decided to take the bottom. The Surfers are the team up top, and they're struggling a little bit to hold up to the wall as you see the speed rise. They are struggling, and they're falling all the way back. They will get 7th place, it looks like, unless they can pick something up here. The Polar Panthers losing this heat, but it'll be the Surfers getting 7th, and now we see some of these teams stringing their way back, just trying to hold on to the plasma stripe. They might be able to pass some of these teams, but they get pushed out by the Electrolytes. And the Hummingbirds will be the last marble on once again, and they will win a second heat. The Wolf Warriors were also in this heat. They did not win. They were one of the first teams to fall off after the Surfers. I believe they got 6th place here, but the Hummingbirds hold on and they will win. Wolf Warriors noticeably also in this heat. Both of the winners, but only one of them could win again. Wolf Warriors got 6th place, Plasma Stripes in 5th. They were trying to hold on, but the Electrolytes just pushed them off, and they will get 4th. An improvement on their 8th place performance, the Electrolytes, in the first round. The Hummingbirds held on all the way. I believe that's Winfinity who will get, what's that, 2nd and 7 points. It's a little bit confusing, but you get the idea. Hummingbirds hold on for 1st, 2nd to Winfinity, Red Rogues 3rd, Electrolytes 4th, 5th to Plasma Stripes. Everybody else missed the top 5. Now it's Victor Trees, Camos, Lilac Lightning, Magmatics, Ferocious Flames, Team Antimatter, Laserlights, and the Scientists. We see a few teams, 3 this time, go to the top. That's the Lilac Lightning, the Ferocious Flames, who pushed the 3rd team down. We see 5 on the bottom, everybody kind of in that line. We see now everybody kind of migrates to the bottom. The Scientists are there as well, and they're kind of poking out, perhaps to pass another team. Lilac Lightning remain at the top all by themselves, as they have in the standings this entire season. No one has challenged them. The gap, the closest it's been so far is 2 points, and it now sits at 9. The Scientists kind of poking out. Oh, the Laserlights up at the top. Maybe going to challenge Lilac Lightning up there. Ferocious Flames as well. Now the Scientists fall all the way back. Laserlights follow them. Laserlights actually might pass them. Opposite of what happened last time, they will. Laserlights will be the first to fall off. Scientists will follow. Lilac Lightning now. Everybody stretching out. Who's that all the way at the back? It's that red team. I believe that's the Magmatics who will win the heat. It will be the Magmatics, the only red team in this one. You can see everybody swung back. Nobody fell off this time like that one Polar Panthers marble. They all kind of go to the front, stretch out. A few teams are at the top this time. The Camos were that 3rd team. I couldn't tell because of the 2 green teams in this heat, but it was the Camos who will also get 5th in this heat. Ferocious Flames follow. Then we get Team Antimatter, the Victor Trees, and the Magmatics who win the heat. Team Antimatter now finds themselves in contention after a gold medal. They were at the bottom of the standings early on. They are now 7th overall, and those top 7 teams really the ones who have chances now. After 2 runs, the Hummingbirds lead, but not by very much. Winfinity is up there, and the Magmatics in 3rd place. The Polar Panthers find themselves in last, and they swing back pretty far again, but they will not fall off for Heat 3A. This is your last chance to get points. The Hummingbirds, really the team to watch in this heat. If they get another good performance, they might seal the deal and win overall. We see 3 teams fearless time at the top. The Laserlights are up there, the Red Rogues are up there, the Victor Trees are up there. Everybody else on the bottom. The Hummingbirds situated at the bottom this time instead of the top where they won their first heat, but they were on the bottom the second time, I believe, unless I've forgotten. Polar Panthers sticking on now. They have not tried to move because every time they try to move, they seem to fall off. Laserlights currently in last at the top. Surfers are in this one. They're falling back once again. Now everybody kind of making their way back. The Surfers cannot hold on. They are off first. Laserlights trying to hold on with that other team up there. They will get 7th, then 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd. The Hummingbirds, top 2 once again. Can they win? They get pushed off. They will not win. I believe the Polar Panthers actually won that heat, but the Hummingbirds will win overall. I think it is now guaranteed. The Hummingbirds are your winners for the Treadmill Endurance. You can see everybody falling off now. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 are left, 6 and 7. We actually missed one of them falling off at the start. So that would have been 5th and 6th instead of 4th and 5th. Polar Panthers win the heat, while the Hummingbirds are your winners overall. And I'm sorry, I referred to Winfinity as the Red Rogues before. The Winfinity will not be winning. But they do have a chance to podium. Lilac Lightning, Camos, Plasma Stripes with Warriors, Ferocious Flames, Team Antimatter, the Electrolytes, and the real Red Rogues are in this one. The Electrolytes stick out, this yellow color against the Treadmill. You see up top the Wolf Warriors holding on, falling a little lower. I think that's the Camos up there. Now with the Hummingbirds essentially already having the event won, it comes down to whether Lilac Lightning can hold on and keep first overall. They've had it for 7 events straight, but they're falling backwards now. If they fall off early, it'll be over, and they're stretching all the way back. They have to hold on. I don't think it's going to happen. Lilac Lightning falls off of the Treadmill and falls out of first overall. The Hummingbirds will now lead the standings, but it all comes down to who can get silver. And we have some marbles in here who very well could. We see the Plasma Stripes, they're in contention. The Ferocious Flames, they're in contention. And they're up at the front with the Red Rogues. Everybody passing down now. Can the Plasma Stripes hold on and pass the Red Rogues? They cannot. The Ferocious Flames will win the heat over the Red Rogues and Plasma Stripes. But now it all comes down to who will podium, because we don't know. Could be Winfinity's up there. The Ferocious Flames, you'd have to think, after winning that heat, have a decent enough total to have a shot at the podium. The Magmatics have a shot at the podium after they won their heat. I believe the Plasma Stripes are just a little bit short now. The Electrolytes had a decent comeback, but their first round was just enough to keep them out of that top half, I would assume. It's anybody's chance, but the Ferocious Flames will win. The Ferocious Flames pick up 8. Will it be enough to get them that second place spot? It will be. The Ferocious Flames pick up the silver, Winfinity the bronze, but over the hum of the Treadmill, the Hummingbirds will take home the gold, first overall in the standings, as well as first overall on the Treadmill, and their fans are buzzing. For 7 events straight, the Lilac Lightning had held first overall, but now there's a 10-point gap, and this time it is in favor of the Hummingbirds, who finally break through. The Wolf Warriors remain on that podium. Magmatics still in contention. The Ferocious Flames and Electrolytes are up there as well. The only teams that passed 70 points are those top 6. Your hosts are finally out of last place, and we will see you in Event 9.